Hello and welcome to another update on the Newberg real estate market. I'm Steve Thoele, principal broker with Premier Property Group. And this update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, July 30th. So going to share the screen with you now and go through the info with you. So this last week in Newberg, I show we had 8 new properties come on the market. You can kind of see that's kind of right in line with where it's been over the past 8 weeks, as you can kind of see here. And the number of total listings you can kind of see has been on the rise over this past 8 weeks. We had a low of 65 here 8 weeks back, and this last week it has gotten up to 84 listings right now is the most recent number on that. The median price and days on market for those active listings, you can kind of see where that's tracked. We started off about 600,000 for a few weeks, then it dipped down to a low of 525, and then it's the last 2 weeks has been 570, 580. 570 this last most recent number. And then the days on market, you can see that we had reached a high of 68 days here about a month ago. Has been on the decline since then. And this most recent reading came in at 41 days of market time for the most current 84 homes on the market. Moving along to pendings. Pending sales this last week, kind of a fluke week, I think, but we only had one pending this last week in Newberg. I had to check that like 3 times to make sure it was right, but yeah, only one pending. So you can kind of see that is obviously a low for the past 8 weeks in terms of weekly new pendings. And then, consequently kind of took a dip on the total number of pendings. This last week went to kind of is hovering in the 50s. This last week it kind of went clear down to 40. So we'll see what happens this next week. Maybe we'll get a bounce back on pendings this week, but one is pretty crazy. So anyway, the median price days on market for those pendings. You can kind of see the median price had been on the rise. We were at about 500,000 here, a low to begin with. Got up to about a little under 550,000 3 weeks back, and last 2 weeks has declined down to 517 was the most recent number for the median price of the pendings. Days on market has been on the rise here, as you can kind of see. We had a low of 7 days of market time here about 6 weeks back, and this most recent reading was about 17 days. So 2.5 weeks of average market time for these most recent 40 homes that are in pending status right now. And then lastly, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put this together, I showed we had 12 properties crossover from pending to sold this last week in Newberg. And you can kind of see it's kind of right in line with where it's been. We had a couple light weeks here, 3 and 4 weeks ago. And then when I look back over the prior 4 weeks of activity on a week-by-week basis, this most recent reading was 36 closings over the prior 4 weeks. And that's unchanged from the week prior, and down from kind of a high of 48 closings over the prior 4 weeks about 7 weeks ago. The median price and days on market for those solds, you can kind of see both are kind of down on both measures. We were in kind of the 530s here to begin with. Dip clear down to 477 3 weeks back. It has been on the rise a little bit for the past couple weeks. Back to 496,000 was the most recent median price. And then the days on market, you can see where that's kind of gone. We had a high of 15 days here about 6 weeks back. Got clear down to 5 days here 2 weeks ago, and bumped up just a little bit to 7 this last week for these most recent 36 closings in Newberg. And then to finish it out here, we'll look at the weeks of inventory, and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So that red bars is the weeks of inventory. And you can kind of see we kind of were bottomed out here at just about 6 weeks of inventory here for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then it has bumped up from there. We had a high of just under 10 weeks of inventory 3 weeks back. And this last week was right around 9 weeks of inventory for this past couple of weeks here in Newberg. And the sale price is a percent of the list. You can kind of see where that's tracked. It's been a little bit of up and down. Hasn't moved a ton. We had kind of a high of about 99, a little over 99% of original list, and a low of about 97.5%. Most recent reading was just under 98%. So just about a 2% discount is the most recent kind of reading on pricing relative to list price here in Newberg. So a little bit over 2 months of inventory right now we have in Newberg, and pricing remains very firm. So still a very strong market, very much kind of a seller's market with limited inventory, and demand is still out there, even in the face of 7% plus interest rates, where we kind of got back up in that territory this last week for a kind of a conventional 30-year fixed rate loan. So we'll see how the remainder of summer plays out, but right now still remains a very strong market. So I hope that update has been helpful for you. As always, really appreciate any likes, comments, shares that you have. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, always encourage you to do that. It's a great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening here in Newberg. And if I can be of any help to you or answer any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. My phone and email address are down below the video. So, get in contact with me. Let me know what I can do to help. Really appreciate you tuning in and watching, and hope you have a great day and week ahead, and we will see you on the next update.